guys, welcome back to another episode of the Grow Up Podcast.
Hello!
I'm joined again today by Tristana and Alyssa.
What?
And we are, it's oddly quiet in here and
I know, no kids.
a Wednesday quiet night.
Have we ever... Yes, we've been without kids before, together.
Sometimes, not very often though.
Rarely.
Rarely. Not just sitting, not doing anything.
Existing?
Only like out, like, frantic and chaotic.
Yeah, that's wild.
How was your day today? How was the traffic getting home?
Listen, nothing makes me mad. Nothing in life really makes me mad.
Yeah.
Traffic, angry. And I always wonder too,
Insta angry.
I'm like non-confrontational. In a car, it is the complete opposite.
That's the one place?
But then I'm wondering, I think it's because I'm like in a bubble, but then I'm like, what happens if somebody was to like knock on my way? Like, I'd be like, just kidding.
Yeah, so I'm not super road rage.
Oh.
Not really, but I don't sit in traffic like you do. I take 10 minutes down the road to Caddo and
I just don't understand, which by the way, I didn't realize like how far, like how long does it take you?
If I'm just going down 66 to get to school, it's like, I think it's like 12 minutes. Like,
Oh, listen.
because there's no traffic getting there in the morning.
Yeah, no Rockwall traffic, immediately bad move.
But like getting to y'all's house, like going on 30, it takes me about 20 minutes. I know, that's why, like, we need to live in Caddo because this back and forth between practice and home,
Yeah.
it's a lot. But speaking of road rage, though, my mom was telling me yesterday that there was, at a drive-thru, some people who were like, hey, I didn't get my fries, and they got a gun pulled on them by the drive-thru person.
What was
that?
The world has gone.
That's what I'm like,
Absolutely
nope, no
not.
road rage for me.
So the thing is, I get very angry, but I've seen so many incidents too. I need like a dash cam because Chris is like, I don't believe you. I don't believe it happened. I was on 635 one day, and this guy, it was like a truck, and he kept trying to pass me, and I was like, started being rude, so I kept speeding up where he couldn't pass me. Yeah. Well, I didn't realize he was trying to pass. He was trying to pass me to get to the guy in front of him. Anyways, we got stuck in traffic, and he gets out of his car, and I'm like, oh, this is it. This is where my life ends. Dying in my work clothes is my biggest fear.
Oh no!
Like, I don't know why. I'm like, God, really? I got dressed for work?
I could like change you before they take pictures.
And you took me in my work clothes? But he gets out of the car and he throws coffee, and he hits the guy's windshield, and the guy's like, got the windshield wipers going. I was like,
he doesn't respond. He just turns on his windshield wipers.
Yes, and I'm like, oh my God, like what just happened? I'm telling you, people have lost their mind.
Yeah, I don't think I could actually sit in traffic every day. It would actually make me insane.
Hello, I don't know if you've met me, but
what do you do? Do you listen to music? What do you do when you're in traffic? Like, what calms you down?
The Morgan Wallen album,
Okay.
Which, by the way, is he coming?
He's coming back.
Oh my God, Chris sent me a screenshot of the concert announcement, and I was like, bro, look at my registration. We're registered in Vegas.
We're registered in like 6 different places. We're getting tickets somewhere.
I will not sleep. October
3rd is Sunday.
Oh my God.
That's Sunday. That's this Sunday.
So we should get the code. One of us.
Yeah. It'll be like, what, emailed to you?
Yes. Okay, but I need everybody to quit hitting the button you're going to go.
You shared it on your Instagram.
What? That's public?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, stop sharing it with people.
Okay, well, I saw that people kept commenting on it, and I was like, I thought this was private. Like,
you shared it on your story.
Oh, on Instagram.
Yes.
I thought you meant like the concert. Like Jen commented about closing my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, man, I thought that was private.
No, that was public.
That's good. Anyways, we're going to Morgan Wallen.
Anyway, yes. Stay tuned to where?
June 25th. Okay, but how fun would this be to go and take it on the road?
Oh my gosh. Like record.
Yes.
That would be so fun. A podcast that I follow, they recently went to Paris and they recorded right in front of the Eiffel Tower. Oh. So this would be our Eiffel Tower. We just sit in front of the stadium, like interview Morgan Wallen fans.
Okay, so we're actually looking for sponsors now. We need sponsors for 2 tickets.
Yes. 2 tickets for what, June 25th? July 25th?
July 25th.
Okay. Stay tuned for that date.
Actually, don't, because you're not coming, because we're the only 2 that are going.
No one else needs to go to that show. It's a private concert.
Seriously, but it's wild to me that he's wrapping up the tour in Houston, in Austin, New York. He'll be in New York in May.
Uh-huh.
But then it's like he's just looping around.
I don't even think he's taking a break.
No.
Why would you? I guess if you're just like
if you're more
making that much money and you're like, well, I'm doing.
It's gotta be exhausting.
Maybe he feels bad that he took that time off or push the dates back, so he's just like,
okay, but at least he's
going.
I don't know. He's got time to grow his hair out. I don't know.
That's
Anyways, we're looking for 2 sponsors.
He needs to learn to set some boundaries.
I don't have any of those.
That's what we're talking about today. Boundaries or lack thereof.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite things to talk about because I used to be, for like my whole life, a big people pleaser. And I wouldn't say that I'm like 100% cured, but I think I'm like 75% cured.
Would you say that?
I would say so, yeah.
I feel like you're such a people pleaser.
I feel like I've come a long way.
Yeah, really.
To the point where I did things, made major life decisions based on what I thought everyone else wanted. And
yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're like, this is mentally insane.
But I think, too, that's where, like, you have helped me grow as a person. Because you're right. Because there are some things in my life where I'm like, I don't have to deal with that.
I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't have to put up with that if I don't want to.
There just comes a point in your life where you're like, hey, this is my life. And I have to make decisions that make me happy. Or...
Yeah, I think I'm actually going through that right now. I think that's the, like, era in my life that I'm going through.
In the boundaries era.
Yeah, I'm trying to say, like, wait, yeah, you're right. I like saying no. That's what we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes I'm learning to say no, which has always been hard for me, too.
It's a very hard thing. It's hard to, you don't want to hurt people's feelings. Mm-hmm. But so much of our time is accounted for. I feel like these days, just the season of life that we're in as parents and, I don't know, our jobs take up a lot of time. Like, our time is so much accounted for that even taking a night to yourself feels like wrong.
100%.
And saying no, no, I just need to. And like feeling like you have to have an excuse.
Yes. Like, so today I got back from dropping the kids off. And so my days switch, I have the mornings off.
We have literally the opposite schedule.
And then I work in the afternoons. But I got home from picking the kids up and I was like, I am going to pick up the kitchen and I'm going to do all this, blah, blah, blah. Literally laid down and went to sleep. Like from like 10 to 12. And I got up and I like called Chris. I was like, hey, I'm just letting you know I took a nap. I'm so sorry. And he was like, okay. He's like, why? It's your time. Yeah, he's like, why are okay? And he was like, annoyed when I say stuff like that. But you're right. It's that wrong. Like,
it's the need to defend yourself when there's nothing to defend against.
Yeah, or justify. And then sometimes I'm like, I just need to rest. But then what does that come with? Like thinking about everything else I have to do.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like relaxing causes more stress because you're like, oh, if I'm not doing this, then that means later I'm going to have to do all the things.
That's it.
Like today I took a nap and then I'm like, oh, well, look at all the laundry still piled up over there.
Okay, but I've learned a laundry trick. So actually,
please share.
Follow me for more housewife tips. I'm the best. If you just wash them over and over again.
I thought you were about to actually give me a laundry tip.
No, what? No, okay, so if you wash them over and over again, eventually the soap will run out.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you can't do any more laundry.
And then you're just out.
Until the laundry fairy, my husband, goes to the store and gets some more, and then he gets so fed up with the same load and the washer that he'll put it in dryer. And then
Listen, the 2 weeks that my dryer was broken and we did minimal laundry, it wasn't terrible until there was just piles of laundry everywhere.
Do you ever get to the point where you just want to throw clothes away?
Absolutely. Start over. Sheen, deliver my next load.
I'm like, I don't even need this. But then, have you ever got, like, when you're like, I don't need this, and then I will throw stuff away?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I wish that I had
I had that. I did have that. Dang it. I am very quick to throw things away. It drives Zach crazy. I'm like, we haven't used this. It's fine. Like,
oh, I'm not.
I'm 100. No. And he will keep things forever and ever. And just in case he might need this one screw that went to something.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, this pot is a little too dirty for me. I'm going to throw it away. Like,
and start over.
It grosses me out and I'll throw it away. And it makes him, it just makes
That's
him
me.
so mad.
I get stressed out. I joke around. I'll throw clothes away, if they're.
Right.
And I don't know if I've ever really thrown anything away. But I will tell you that, let me just, now that we're addressing this, Chris, I'm 100% sure, throws my clothes away. Because I have a pair, and I, will have I wear the same clothes all the time. Like, I have, you know me long enough now, it's just, the same things. But then eventually one of the pieces that I always wear will just disappear. I have red leggings, gone. Never seen them again. Pink leggings, gone.
Oh yeah, that's the ones you were gonna wear to
my
Barbie.
favorite. Yes, my favorite bike shorts, gone. Where are they?
Lululemon sweatshirt?
No, I know where that's at. If you have that, return that. Oh my god,
gone.
But the
your flannel,
yeah, gone. I'm like. So, anyways,
okay. So one time I threw away one of Zach's work shirts. Like he has a bunch of white. He used to do like labor, but he had a white T-shirt and it was like brown almost, and I threw it away.
Was he just heartbroken?
Oh, he was so mad, and he was like, "But I use that to work in." I'm like, "You literally? Let's go look in your drawer. You have 800 white T-shirts to work in." He was like, "No, but I use that."
We may be a lot.
Ah!
Well, because like I remember one night, because I keep everything sentimental. Like I have dirt from my college.
You do not.
Softball field in my closet.
Okay, well, from your that's
okay.
That makes sense.
But also,
I thought you just meant like some random dirt.
I do have some, no.
You do everything. I
have rocks that like I'll pick them up and I'm like, oh, this is a nice rock that we got when we were
Jackson Bryant.
I'll have to show you next time we're. Anyways, the I was like trailing off.
You kept dirt.
Oh, sonogram pictures.
Oh yeah,
Chris threw them away. Listen, I had to go like climb in, and he was like, "Just go look at your kid in the room," and I'm like,
"No."
So that's how like anal he is. Like, I mean, would you know he's OCD? Yeah. But I'm like, this is out of control. This is it.
We're gonna fight.
That's it. So I guess in return, he just throws my clothes away.
But do you think he just like haha, see if she notices, or do you?
He like swears.
What else could happen to him?
He swears, and that's what I'm saying. I don't go anywhere. We don't go anywhere. Like I don't change clothes places. I don't know, but I'm on to him.
Okay, that's a boundary you need to set.
Listen, and it wakes me up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, where's pink leggings? And then I'll tear everything up, and then I'm in the worst mood all the next day because I want to know where my.
I can't. Yeah, my children are hoarders. And I don't know.
Are they?
Oh, yeah. When this is over, we can go look in Jackson's. So he has Hud's old bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that top drawer full of rocks.
Stop. Oh my God, I'll bring mine over.
Then he's got a drawer full of like playing cards and cards. And then he's got when he's at his dad's, I throw things away all the time.
Mm-hmm. Because you can't. You have to do it when
keeps
they're gone.
Every cardboard box we ever get rid of. Like he'll go through recycling and he's like, I can make something out of this. I can make a robot.
So actually today, I am today's years old when I realized I identify as Jackson Bryant.
Yeah.
I keep boxes too. That's a nice box.
Okay, and just random stuff, and we're like,
this Do you keep the iPhone trash. Boxes?
I used to. I haven't gotten a new iPhone in a long time. So. Like I used to get the new one all the time.
Well, you keep those boxes? They're nice boxes.
They are nice. Okay.
What about bags?
You are Zach and Jackson.
What do you keep? Okay, so
they are the same.
Listen, the other day we got tip treats.
Yeah, they were delicious. Thank you.
They came in a bag. I kept the bag. That's a nice bag.
What do you do with that bag?
I don't know. It's a nice bag.
It says tip treats on it. What, are you gonna resell it?
I don't know. You'll see
baked cookies.
You'll see all my bags in the pantry because I'm like, that's a nice bag.
Oh, yep. You are Zach and Jackson.
That's it. I
complete.
Now.
But Noah is also a hoarder. Like I really have to go through their stuff. Noah's like, but he keeps all his like school stuff from the previous year, like his binders and his like old work, and I'm like, for what?
So do I. I have mine in the closet.
Of your personal work?
Yes.
What
like, of binders?
Just full of stuff or just binders?
Full of stuff.
Like what? I need to see these things.
Like papers. I'll take you in the attic next time. Okay. I have a tub. I'm telling you, I cannot throw stuff away.
I want to see your dirt and your rocks and your.
I keep everything.
I keep sentimental things. Like I have some more pictures and sentimental things, but clutter.
It's not clutter.
Things laying around. Like right now, Zach has. What is that random stuff over there? Sorry, Zach, when you're listening to this week, it's going to get thrown away. Like the little screw. Like, what is that?
See, all that looks organized to me. That's what I'm saying. There's two different people. I see nothing.
Okay, well, then you're welcome at my house anytime. Because I'm always like...
Nothing. I don't see anything.
Don't mind the dryer sitting in the middle of my...
Nothing. See? You know what I see? A table.
It's currently used to air out our pads.
I see a bar top.
Yeah.
Okay, but pads...
A card.
Hey, what's happening on December the 7th? Oh, not December. Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I don't know what's happening on December the 7th.
October the 7th.
October the 7th is this week? Oh, no, that's next week. That's where we're playing Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
Be there, be square.
That's it.
Is it in Greenville?
Yes. But actually, I don't mind.
I mean, I could literally walk there, but
I actually don't mind away games now after seeing the behind the scenes home games.
It is like you can just go and then leave.
I just want to go watch my mom leave. What? Like, what? I didn't realize when I signed 2 kids up and then, like, but...
Yeah. Well, Angela, after the 5th grade
game,
her and Mike are, like, walking around putting, like, all the money stuff up, and I was like, I'm tired and I've been sitting here. They haven't sat down. And
she said that she had to, like, put the water up. Is that what you're saying, the water? Yeah, she said...
Well, they had the money drawer and then they were putting it up in, like,
our money drawer?
Ours, it belongs to us. Still owes, like, $500 there. But yeah, it's a lot of work.
Well, and that's today I was thinking when I was driving, because I was like, oh my gosh, we have another home game this weekend, and I'm like already tired from it. Boundaries again, because we have plans after that, and I'm already tired. But then that's what I was thinking too about, like, youth sports and how people are so quick to get on social media and talk bad about coaches and parents and sit in the stands and run their mouth. But truly this year, I see that unless you're going to volunteer 13 hours on your Saturday.
Every Saturday.
And not to mention practices and the staying up at night to think about.
Thinking about it.
I mean, Chris is constantly talking about, oh, today we did this. Oh, we need to do this. Oh, I've got to work on this. And they don't see that, but they can just get on their keyboard and bitterly attack them. Like, I don't know. Today I was thinking that those parents even now more frustrate me. And it should be a requirement to, like, everybody should have to wait tables, but everybody should have to
coach a youth sports team.
Yeah.
Actually, though.
Well, I don't know, because some people think they can do it fine, which, to me, winning is fine. What are your thoughts on that?
On winning versus just playing?
Just playing for fun.
It's such a... I love the youth sports episode that we did with Mike, because he had a good way of putting it all, but...
Yeah, you know what he said? I just asked them if they want to play now. Don't ever ask my kids if they want to play.
Oh, well, mine will pretty much tell you yes.
Well, now they will. My Bodie will now, but before I was like, do not ask my child.
But you know what? He had the time. Anyway, he's been in a competitive league forever, and he now enjoys it.
Loves it.
And I mean, he's only 6. He's 6 now.
That rolled off weird.
Noah turns 11 next week, so let's just... And I read the statistic today, and I cried, where it was like you spent 75% of your time with your kids by the time they turn 12, and he's about to be 11.
Today, Hudson, I was in the middle of, like, such a good dream, and at, like, 4 o'clock in the morning, I feel like these fingers poking me in the face, and I was like, immediately no. But then I was thinking, okay, in less than X amount of years, he's not going to want to come, like, get in bed with me.
Yep.
So I scoot it over.
Yeah.
But it's wild. I mean,
now that Zach is working nights, the boys are like, can we sleep with you? And at first I was like, man, I've been really looking forward to, like, stretching out on my heating pad, like, and watching. And then I was like, no, you can sleep with me, because you are very soon going to be like, no.
Well, I think that to me is the hardest boundary as a mom, is being trying to find the balance of independence, but also, like, oh my gosh, you're going so, and I think I'm codependent on my kids.
I'm codependent on my kids. Being divorced kind of helps break that boundary a little bit, because you have no choice. But oh yeah, Jackson gets irritated with me all the time, because he's still at school with me and Noah is gone, and so every morning I'm like chasing him down the hallway, giving him a kiss, and he's like, like, leave me alone. I'm like, but you're gonna be gone soon.
Like this, and I think the little ones, the youngest, get the brunt of the
clinginess.
Yeah, like, I mean, today in the car, I was like, oh, but you're my, like, talking to Bodie, I was like, you're my baby, like, it's, but at 6 with Hudson, I expected him to be doing X, Y, and Z, and I just was like, you're going to do great things, you need to go and be independent, and I'm like, oh, no,
wait, slow down now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Noah has always, especially with this size too, been expected to do a lot more, like, people think he's older.
Yeah.
And then with Jackson, who's also big too, but I'm like, no, but he's just a baby. He's a baby. He's just a baby.
What is that day that Noah, we were at that football tournament, and he was like, I don't know, like 7.
Yeah.
I mean, he was young.
Yeah.
Noah. And I was like, he's like, I need to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay, cool, go.
And he was like,
yeah. And I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. You're like
You're
5.
A small child.
Yeah. I was like, let me walk you a quarter of a mile to the bathroom. I was like, yeah, you're fine, go.
Well, I know it is just like, Jackson would have been like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
And Noah, one time we left him alone for 5 minutes. I think I've even told this story before. Left him alone for 5 minutes. Like, Zach was coming home. I was leaving. He had to get
crossed on the street.
Like, crossing. And it was like, I was like, he will be here in a few minutes. Just sit on the couch. And Zach pulls up 4 minutes later, and it's like, why is Noah outside?
I remember this. I think I was like real time in this. Like I think I remember.
You had one job: sit on the couch for 4 minutes. He's like, I was scared, and I'm like,
we are the same person. I still get scared. How old am I?
I'm telling you, these nights I'm alone, I'm like,
did you hear that noise? Yeah. I'm about to start packing up and sleeping over here at Wednesdays.
Yep, Wednesday nights.
That's where it's at.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to show you that text thread in a second. Okay, so boundaries. Let me read you, I have a couple good stories that I would like to read and get your opinions on.
Oh, because I'm the boundary queen?
Yes. So let's start off with this one. If my phone will... So this is boundaries in just all different kinds of relationships, because a lot of these are like relationship boundaries, which I feel like I haven't had as much of an issue with ever. I don't. Well, anyway, to a degree. This one is about it says, my wife's sister has 0 boundaries and it's driving me crazy. How can we get her to respect boundaries?
Hold on. So family, like when you start saying like brothers, uncles, cousins, I'm like,
who?
So wife's what?
My wife's sister. So the guy is writing and he said my wife's sister.
So it'd be like my sister.
Yes. If it's like Chris is writing, it'd be like my wife's sister.
Okay.
Whew. Good morning. Myself and my wife have been married for 4 years, but together for 7. Her sister is 23. She was the baby growing up and ran the house. She's always had absolutely no boundaries with my wife since we moved in together. She tries to FaceTime her 1,000,000 times a day, all hours of the night. If my wife doesn't answer, she will come to our house and knock until someone answers. We have a 4-month-old daughter.
Yep.
And in the past 4 months, she has really kicked it up a notch, though she seems uninterested in our baby. We have told her she cannot knock on the door after 8 p.m. because the dogs will go crazy and wake the baby. She's completely ignored this. My wife FaceTimes her at least twice a day and plans an outing at least twice a week. She is welcome over a few afternoons a week. I think this is a fair amount of attention. It's a lot of attention.
Oh, no.
Just not enough for her. She ends up knocking on our door at least once a night. It's ruining our alone time, to be honest. This morning was the breaking point for me. I'm in the kitchen fixing a bottle at 4 a.m. Yes, 4 a.m. She knocked. She barges right in the front door, and I lost it. I don't know how she got into the house. She says we told her the passcode, but that's definitely not true. I then, of course, lost it on my wife because I feel bad. But I feel bad because I know she's done everything she can to set boundaries. I'm so sick of feeling like I can't be comfortable in my own home. Because at any moment, her sister will show up. She works the night shift and only 3 days a week, so she has plenty of downtime. Besides setting boundaries, what can we do?
I think that's marriage ending stuff. I mean, if the shoe's on the other foot, foot's on the other shoe.
Shoes on the other foot.
I mean, if that was Chris and a sibling of his, all right, that's... We had a situation where we had neighbors that were very boundaryless.
Boundary crossing.
I just make up words here at this point.
Let me teach her good.
Characteristic.
Audacity.
Oh my God! Speaking of all rotten potatoes, Christina, were you there for that?
Yes.
Oh,
that was her and Leslie. I don't know. I was on your side.
All rotten potatoes.
All rotten. It's her lazy eye.
Why did you say all rotten?
All, because it sounds like someone is like,
you're speaking in cursive. Oh, rotten potatoes. Anyways,
boundaryless neighbors.
All rotten. But I felt like, and this was very minimal to our like long term in our house, etc. But I remember feeling so overwhelmed that I was like, Chris, we're gonna have to move. Like this is too much for me. Being family like that, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do.
I mean,
what can you do in that they've set a very clear boundary? Like, hey, I'm going to give you this much attention. Apparently, you require a lot.
Yeah, but at what point does she need to?
She's 23. Why is she not wanting to go out and live her own life?
Right.
Why is she obsessed with her sister?
That's it. I mean, is there other...
Well, she said she's uninterested in the baby. I'm like, yeah, she's jealous of the baby.
Yeah, because the attention.
So what else can you do in that situation? Because I feel like I'm good at being like, hey, this is my boundary, my personal boundary. If you cross it, I remove myself from the situation.
Yeah, that's me too.
That's me.
Absence, yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. Like, hey, I'm just going to remove myself. You can't remove yourself from your sister. Not really.
I don't know. But then I also feel like, Chris, I'm very passive. Like, my lines are freaking squiggly lines, and they're made out of pencil.
People kind of cross your line, and 100%. You just, like, extend your line.
Literally. Day in and day out. But Chris is very much firm, and he stands up a lot for me in that situation. Or, like, in situations. I feel like that husband maybe isn't doing enough, to be completely honest, of being more firm. Because I have no doubt that if Chris got a hold of him, 4 a.m. knocking.
Chris will stand up for your boundaries.
That's what I'm saying. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, they would never happen, and I feel confident.
Well, that's where I'm like, yeah. Usually, I'm a big what is that called? Proponent?
Au gratin.
Of if it's your family, you need to address the situation.
Yeah.
Like if we have a problem with Zach's family or whatever, he needs to address it. But if they're coming into my house at 4 a.m., that's no longer like a you need to know. This is my home.
Yeah.
And you need to get out.
Yeah. No,
that's insane.
I don't know. That's tricky. But like I said, I don't feel like the boundaries would be or have been set
firmly enough, yeah,
for her to not get it. And if at that point,
change the locks, like
go to the mom,
start cutting off some contact. I mean, like, hey, until you can respect boundaries, we're gonna have to go low contact. LC, low contact in the Reddit world.
Oh, I was like,
you have to learn all the abbreviations.
Like Lauren Conrad.
That's a show I never watched.
What?
I know.
Laguna Beach?
Never. I know.
I wanted to live there so bad.
I want to live in Stars Hollow.
You what?
I want to live in Stars Hollow.
What is that?
That would be the fictional place that Gilmore Girls happened.
Oh, I've never watched that.
Okay, I need you to. My dog's name is Rory.
Rory.
That is literally my comfort show. I watch it every fall. Anyway.
Okay, but Seinfeld is mine right now.
That's Josh, my brother. He loves Seinfeld.
Oh,
I could never get into it.
It makes me the happiest person.
I'm
telling you, I rush home from work because I get excited to watch that.
I'm ready to dive back into Dexter. Have you watched Dexter?
Yes. So I can't
Our shows are so...
I can't watch... You're Chris, because I can't watch serious stuff before bed. And like...
Oh, I'm like... Murder.
No, not before bed. And that's the thing is I can watch it all day, but you turn on at night, I'm like...
So what do you watch right before you go to sleep?
Seinfeld.
Okay.
The Office.
Did you hear about The Office?
No.
It's a reboot.
Okay, let me just say...
I think they're going to ruin it.
I play on my phone and watch The Office. Every time I tell people I watch The Office, I start quoting it, and I'm like, okay, I don't really watch The Office.
No, that's one show that
It's background noise.
Yeah. But they're rebooting it, and I just am so irritated. I think they're going to ruin it.
Of course. All reboots are ruined.
Yep.
Ruined.
Let's see. Okay. Here's a relationship one. Some of these people, I'm like...
Well, and then sometimes you have to wonder if they're real. But then, like, you go out in the world and you're like, it's definitely real.
It's
like,
real.
This
is really happening. Okay. It's a little bit lengthy, so bear with me. Am I the jerk for asking my husband to create boundaries with his ex?
Oh, do read.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
My husband, male 27, dated a girl in high school off and on and remains friends with her to this day. Anyway, when we were dating and early into our marriage, I was okay with the relationship and tried to respect their friendship. I even went to her wedding.
Did I write this?
Is he friends with her? Anyway, hold on, we'll get there. A year ago, she confided in him about troubles in her marriage, and my husband,
no.
being the great friend he is, helped her through it via text. Within those messages, they both said, I love you to each other.
Nope.
I trust my husband completely.
Yes.
And know he would never cheat on me. However, I do not trust her. Herein where the problem's always in life. I began to feel uncomfortable with how close she wanted to keep my husband and felt she was stepping over some boundaries. I don't think it's appropriate for a married woman to confide in not only a married man about her relationship problems, but one that she had a romantic relationship with. I don't feel like it's respectful to me or to her husband. When I explained my discomfort to my husband, he immediately unfollowed her on social media. Okay. She asked him to meet for coffee, something they have done for years, and I said it was okay as long as I could join. So we all went out and got coffee, and I told him once again that I was uncomfortable with the relationship, and he respected my wishes to limit communication. Today, she discovered that he had unfollowed her and asked him about it.
Okay, no.
He explained that he could no longer be there for her to confide in about her relationship and that his wife would prefer they had boundaries. She did not respond well. She said she knew I was a problem and that my request is ridiculous because I don't understand the nature of their relationship. My husband has several friends, both male and female. He's an incredible friend. I have no problem with any of them except for her, and I told him that. The way she approaches their relationship makes me feel violated. I like that. I like the way she raised that. Anyway, he keeps fighting for their friendship, which I understand. I never asked him not to be friends with her, only boundaries.
She's fighting for the friendship, or he is?
He is.
He's fighting for her friendship?
He keeps fighting for their friendship, which I understand.
No. Bro, no.
Am I the jerk?
No. Okay, so that whole thing was like a roller coaster of emotions that I just went through. So Chris had a friend that was a girl, and I firmly believe that married people of opposite sex can have friends of opposite sex. I fully believe that, and I think that Chris he does have girlfriends, and I fully support that.
Yeah.
Now, when you start calling, like if you're not in a relationship and you start calling this girl was calling my husband and all hours of the night. Yeah. And I was like, oh no, you don't need to call him.
No.
And it would be like stupid things, like just I just
wanted finding a reason.
I wanted to, and I'm like, okay, sure, that would have been fine before he was a father and a husband. Yeah, and it's now 10 o'clock, or 11 o'clock. Is that all hours?
No, it is. But it's not 2 o'clock in the middle of the day.
He respected all of those boundaries, and I'm pretty sure he blocked her on social media. But it's the girls. Look at the girls.
I know. I feel like men are a little bit more naive.
Yes.
To things like this.
Girls. We know how girls act.
I'm like, I know exactly what it means when they're saying, oh, I just need... No.
Or for her to act inappropriate. Like, if you were to tell me, like, it's even weird saying it, but, like, I need you to not talk to Zach. I would be like, okay.
That'd be so weird.
You know what I mean? But I'm trying to use it as an example. It's such a weird example. But I'd be like, okay, you're right. Yeah. It's fine. Okay, because I respect you and your marriage. Yeah. But if it's when she starts freaking out, that would make me...
because this wife is a very patient, first 100%. Of all. To be really good friends with an ex, like...
But coffee dates?
No. I love yous?
That's right. No. No, you can't text that. No.
You've crossed crossed my boundaries.
I feel like girls are so vindictive. Like, just... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say too much. That's the reason I'm drinking Diet Coke tonight. Thank you for that.
Right. It's when she said, I feel violated. Like, you've intervened now into, like, our relationship. Like, she went so far as to be like, yeah, you can go have coffee. I'm going to come too. And then the girl said that she was ridiculous.
No.
My bag just fell over. That was weird.
Oh. I was like... I just gotta be faster than you out of here. I don't know. I don't know. If she would have respected it and said...
Are you friends with any of your exes?
No, actually. I deleted all of them on Facebook once we got married. Yeah, we had... Anyways, I'm not friends.
And I'm not even saying, like, social media friends. Like, I think...
Oh, no. As far as that, I don't even...
Like, okay. But, like, actually being friends with a person that you've been in a relationship with is... It's rare. I think there's rarely a time when that can work out.
Or that is appropriate?
Yeah. Like, I have to deal with mine. You know what I mean? Like, and to be quite honest, I think people who co-parent with their partner's ex, that's big, because I think if I had to deal with Zach's ex all the time, I would be like...
100%. No, I fully respect you. I fully respect the other party. It would be, and Chris talks about it all the time, he said, it would be hard for me to have, like, another man stand in and be, like, a figure for our boys. He said it would kill me. And I truly believe that people that co-parent, it's amazing. I mean, and the patience. I would be the worst ex-wife. I would be the worst ex-wife and co-parent. Just, Chris, this is your heads up.
The ex part is not a big deal, except for that we do have to, like... That's what I'm saying. If Zach was always texting his ex, it's always about the boys. But, I mean, Randall and I talk on a daily basis.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have a good relationship,
We have a pretty good co-parenting relationship. But I'm just saying, Zach is very patient because to me, like, I know it's very innocent.
Sure.
Obviously, it's about the boys all the time.
Yeah.
There's never, like,
But he has to continue to fight
He has to know that, like, my phone goes off all the time and it's my ex-husband. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Even though I know there's nothing to it at all, You know, I don't know. That's just all I'm saying. Like,
I know this is hard without muddying the water.
I'm like, I need something more than
it's like
Gatorade.
All rotten. No, there's a reason we don't have Diet Coke.
Just Gatorade in my new Simply Modern cup.
I don't know. I think Chris does a good job of respecting my boundaries.
Like, if something made you uncomfortable, he'd be like, okay.
Yeah, or yeah. I mean, with that one, removing that one friend, and but I don't know. I think he does a good job of that, and I think that's what makes
you have to. Someone who doesn't respect your boundaries is not someone who can stay around. Because
I agree with that. Well, then there's also a line though with possessiveness and boundaries that they get close together, and then it becomes too much.
Yes. You can. There are people who take it to the extreme and say, "Well, this is a boundary." Like, okay, well, that's just you being
controlling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm all for people having boundaries until you're like, okay.
You're
saying that in the name of boundaries.
Or if they're making the boundary.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to set my boundaries.
Yeah. This is one of the most, I'm reading some of the comments. This is one of the most mature sounding ex-girlfriend boundary scenarios I've ever read. You making these boundaries is more than reasonable. And your husband sounds like a solid dude respecting those boundaries. You guys are going to be all right. It doesn't sound like he is respecting them.
I don't know. When she commented, or when she said he's fighting for their friendship.
Yeah.
No, nobody in this world is worth my husband and I's relationship.
No.
So there's no friendship that I will fight for
more than
if we are in a happy, healthy, committed relationship.
Right.
Like there's nobody, like, no friendship.
You vowed no.
They would ever come.
No.
So.
Nope. Okay. This one is about boundaries at work.
Okay, but I'm the one that, like, somebody leaves their computer open, I'm literally sending an email to the whole business.
I think that's funny. I think this is more like
boundaries.
I think this is more like
stick my finger right in your ear immediately. That's how I get to know everybody.
I think you've had your finger in my ear more than one time.
Boundaries.
This is okay, let me just get into it. This is about the manager and the executives of their job. I just completed 1 year in my job and it took me a while to learn the ropes. The company I work for has serious issues of people not respecting deadlines and people's time. My manager has called me up on Sunday evenings at 7 to discuss things that he wants before the office the next day. There are many instances of such things happening. I've recently started to set my boundaries. I've come on time, always finish on time if I've had a reasonable amount of lead up time, and leave on time. That was a lot of on time.
Leave on.
Time. I'm willing to stay back half an hour or so once in a while to finish off the day's work. So basically, like, they're just working their hours, not staying.
Same.
One of my responsibilities is to collate details of our customers and send them to the executive, who forwards them to our call center to get feedback. We do this for the focus product of the week for specific uses in 1 to 2 states. This is a lot of
okay, so
professional jargon. Hold on.
I was about to say, is this why we work with children?
I'm like,
immediately my brain's like singing songs.
Okay, so one data set was pending for over 40 days, and after many reminders, the executive sent it to me at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. This was the 3rd round of calls. To clean the data from 3 rounds would take 3 times the usual time. I'm trying to get to the point of it because this is over my head.
So did they write their lesson plan?
Right. Basically, it was like people aren't doing their job, so the boss forwarded it to him and was like, "Hey, take care of this."
You do it?
Yeah.
No.
4 p.m. on a Tuesday. I worked my butt off and completed it by about 6:30 somehow. 4 to 5 hours of work in just 2.5. Went to my manager to get his suggestions in person as to how to get it done ASAP. He saw me coming, asked me to sit, got called by a colleague, told me to wait for him, and went and chatted with his colleague for half an hour.
Nope.
At this point, I was thoroughly and completely pissed. I wrote an email to my executive stating my requirements and told them that unless they get me my requirements in one go, I will not be able to complete work. Basically, that one was, the jargon was a little bit over my head there. But it was like,
I don't know how people do adult jobs like that.
Basically, it's like when you work really hard.
I have the same shirt.
Oh, really? From Shein?
I love it.
I do too. It's comfortable.
So cute.
Basically, this person does their job really well, so the boss comes to them with last minute things that other people are not doing, and they're like, "Hey, get it done." Mm-hmm. So they're saying they have learned to set boundaries where, like, if you don't get it to me by midday, I'm not going to have it done by the end of the day. I'm not staying late to work on things for you. I think as a teacher, learning how to set boundaries.
100%. Works where I struggle, maybe past tense. Because anytime, especially like waiting tables and things like that, if somebody asked me to work, yes. And I'm not even because I wanted to say yes. It's just like, yes, not yes. Money. Yeah, like I'll just work. Yeah. So now I'm like, no, I need, to take time off. I need to take vacation days. I need to make sure that I do that. And it's hard. That's something is hard for me. Yeah. Because I feel like if I step away from work, then I'm letting people down. Right. When in reality, I have people at home that I'm letting down. That your time needs. Yeah. I think when teaching goes, like waiting tables, I feel like picking up extra shifts, at least I knew that my time was being paid. Like picking up extra shifts meant I'm getting paid more. Like it's a direct reflection. But when I've gotten better about boundaries at work too. When I used to stay at school till 5, 6 o'clock at night and get there at 7, the money, there's not really a monetary reflection of that. Yeah. You're just getting what you get. And then you are like, Zach would be like, hey, or hello, like I'm over here. Oh, I was like, I'm looking at you. I was like, was that I had a stroke just then? No, but Zach, I would bring home work and I would grade papers and I would do lessons and I get like being an earlier teacher, you do have to devote a little bit more time. But he was like, hey, like you're at home and you're not even at home. Yeah. And so setting boundaries as far as a school, like being a school teacher was hard. I think that might be one of the hardest professions too. It was too much for me. I tell people all the time, I couldn't cut it out as a teacher. It is. I came home. I'll never forget the day that I was like, I told Chris, I said, I will do anything but go back to a classroom. And it's because I was bathing Hudson, or one of the kids. I think it was Hudson. He was early on. And he splashed me. And I yelled at him, like screamed at him. And I was like, this is not. And it was because I poured my whole life into 21 other kids that didn't really care about me. Right. And I got home and I was like, I can't do this. You're right. I was bringing stuff home on the weekends. I mean, Chris had built an outdoor bar and I had my lesson plans and work scattered from left to right all over. And it can, and there are teachers that like you and, our friends, Jen and Ashley Gandy, who can do all of that and balance it wonderfully. I don't know how you guys do it. That's what I'm saying. It took me a long time because now, and it does come with time too. Like, I'm on my seventh year in the same spot. So like my lesson plans for the year, done. All I got to do is change dates. That's nice. Implementing things. And you're talking about kids that don't care about you. Luckily in Caddo, like I do feel like, yeah, they care. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm in a place where they do care, but getting to the point where I'm like, I get to school right before school. That's nice. I get everything done that I need to, or that I can. And if not, it'll be there tomorrow. Yeah. And then I come home, not that I even have time. I was about to say, do you even go home? Yeah. We come home and it's usually like, hey, or where are all of your cleats and pads and things? Oh my gosh. And then it's back together. A good thing we've got a break between football and, we don't. Oh, wait. Basketball. Oh, and then wait. Oh, and then soccer. And then tournament football. And then favorite. And then football again. And then football again. Oh my God. And then we're like 60. We're like, hey, remember the good old days? No, it was a blur. Everything is a blur. But, I mean, even to the point where when I first met y'all, I was grading papers in my car because I was like, that was my time to grade papers. Like, she's a teacher. She teaches here. I remember being like, you're like a celebrity. No. I don't know. I thought I was like, she's a teacher. And at that point, I think I was still trying to get into the district. So Chris was like, go talk to her. Oh, I just spoke to you. And I was like, boundaries. But yeah, I was like. And then eventually I was like, oh, no, sitting with other moms and, like, relaxing is actually better for my mental health than sitting in the car watching TV and grading papers. Even though some days I still want to do that. I think about football, and I think about, like, how much life has changed since becoming part of the football team. Sitting and relaxing. I look forward to youth sports with our group because it is literally the best. But you're right. I miss all of it now because of work. This. But I know you used to come to practice. Yeah. Right? Like I'm not crazy. No, I used to work during COVID and stuff. I used to work from home, so I would just come. So I guess we did start. You guys started right after COVID, right? 2020. 2019. It was kindergarten. Hudson was in kinder. So that was after because Jackson was in pre-K when COVID happened.
It was the end of pre-K.
Oh yeah, that's
so
what it was.
Right after COVID was when kinder football started.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Weird. I feel like COVID was so recent. We've known each other way before that, but no.
I was talking to my student about that today, and she was
we
like,
didn't know each other pre-COVID.
No, there's a reason God didn't provide our friendships before when we were all in lockdown.
We would have just all locked down together.
Could you imagine?
Yes.
That would be so much fun. I mean, like,
it's getting crazy out there.
That's when we should have the plantation where we all just live together. And...
Yeah. Can you imagine if we just all had land and it was just like...
It would... It's literally my dream. Uh-huh. It's literally my dream.
Like, go to your other parents.
Like, the kids would just... I truly believe, people are like, oh, we should... I truly believe our group could have a plot of land with houses and a middle ground for all the kids. They're literally like brothers. Like, they are... Yes, they're literally like brothers. I truly believe. Yeah. It's unique. Very unique.
That would blur all sorts of boundaries. Our time is everybody.
Angela, I'm showing up at your house at 3 a.m.
She's like, I'm trying to sleep. I just want to read this next book.
Andrew, I think out of all the people, all of our friendships boundaries we've crossed, it's probably Angela's. and waking her up.
But you know what? She dragged me out of that car, so.
Yes, it's actually her fault.
You asked for this. This one is mother related. Am I the jerk for setting boundaries with my mother? Here we go. I, 31 female, was out of town for a week and asked my mother to feed my cats. Really, she offered and I accepted. Over the years, I've asked her repeatedly to not clean my house. I know that sounds like a pretty weird request, but I cannot stand when she comes over and starts rummaging through my things in the guise of helping me clean. Not to mention, she's always snide about it. No matter how many times I've asked her not to, she does it anyway. It gives me immense anxiety, and I very calmly expressed to her for years not to do that. And she said, okay, it's not calmly every time, but I try. That's fine. I made it clear that I literally just want her to put food in the bowl, refresh the water, and clean the litter box. I told her she was more than welcome to watch a movie or whatever on the couch with my fur babies and eat or drink anything she wanted from the fridge. I know she likes to watch things without my dad, and the kitties would love a good couch snuggle. I thought I made it clear that she was supposed to stay on the main floor of my townhouse, to the point where I didn't even tell her about the litter box in the master bathroom because I didn't want her going through my room. Of course, I never explicitly forbade her from going upstairs because she was absolutely allowed if there was an emergency. But lo and behold, she just sort of went upstairs, and then called my father over to go upstairs and mess with my bathroom sink to fix it. Since I was only expecting her on the middle and bottom floor, I didn't clean my room.
Is this a 3-story house?
It's a townhouse, so yeah. We lived in a townhouse once.
Was it 3
Before this house, actually. Well, we lived on like the second story, and then there was a third story.
Oh, that's cool.
No, so many stairs.
Really?
So many stairs. Took me 3 flights to get up to the bathroom.
What?
I was in great shape. Not really.
You had to climb upstairs to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, so our townhouse was on the second floor, so there's already a thing of stairs. Then the main floor was just the kitchen and living room.
Huh.
Then you had to go upstairs to the bathrooms and bedroom.
Wow. I've never seen a townhome, I guess.
Yeah, you'd have to... Anyway. It's a lot of stairs. We would sleep in the living room a lot because we were like, oh.
Because the stairs?
Yes.
Because you would be untired by the time you get to the top.
You're like...
Ready to run a marathon.
Yeah.
Let's do this!
I'm never ready to run a marathon. When I returned, I thanked her for watching the kitties, but expressed that I felt my boundaries and privacy were violated in the worst way. Furthermore, I've explicitly told her not to wash the dishes in my house, and I have video footage of her doing it several times. Instead of apologizing or even letting me finish, she started making excuses. I've told her it's not about the dishes, it's about blatantly doing things that I've repeatedly and explicitly asked her not to do. It's about willfully crossing boundaries and instead of apologizing, giving excuses. Am I the jerk? For being upset?
I'm going to take devil's advocate on this one, if I use that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is in the wrong. I don't give her permission to be in your home. I mean, at this point, there are pet sitters you can hire. I mean, you know her behavior. It's obviously not going to change.
Yeah.
At this point, you're inviting...
Like you're setting yourself up to be crossed.
Yeah, I mean, I would go... it's going to sound crazy. But if, like, my kid, I would go through my kid's house. Like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe not at 31. She was 31. That's pretty old.
Yeah. Well, it's like going through her bedroom and finding, like, personal things.
Like what?
Personal things.
What'd you find?
That's the other podcast.
Oh, it is Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, the bonus.
The bonus. Oh, yeah, we didn't have a bonus.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if it's like those people that get mad when they have their in-laws or their parents watch their kids, and then they get all mad because they didn't keep them on schedule or they didn't feed them what they wanted them to feed them.
Right.
And I'm like,
it's someone who's watching your kids.
Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't sound like she's married or has kids, so that is her child. So I feel like at that point, you are setting yourself up for, you either have somebody watch your stuff or you don't.
It's like, at this point, if you don't want her in there, don't have her in there.
Yeah, like you know what she's going to do.
But the mom is also, if it would be like, it's hard because we don't have adult kids. Yeah. Because right now, if they told me not to go in their room, I'd laugh. Like, sorry.
It's good side.
Yeah. But as an adult, like, if they were, like, explicitly like, hey, don't, and you still did, I mean, you are also a jerk. Like,
yeah, I mean,
respect that boundary.
You're definitely a jerk.
Yeah, it's both ways.
I just, they don't live in the same house. Like, if they lived in the same house, they'd be like, okay, yes, she is, but she's benefiting from her mom.
Right. So just stop letting, These comments, though, Reddit comments make me, if you ever just want to go down a rabbit hole of entertainment.
No, they're ruthless. I Google all sorts of weird stuff. Like, what is this spot on my finger? And it's on Reddit. Just responds to it. I'm like,
oh, okay, thanks.
You can also find math problems on there. Like,
oh, really?
Like, you could type in, like, a word problem and they pull
and
up with the answers. Yeah.
You can do that on Google. I've done that before. Noah's like, because Noah's homework at this point, I'm like, I have no idea.
Okay, where did this in 5th?
Yeah.
Okay, after 8th grade math, I'm out. My sister called me yesterday about the slope, intercept, and I was like, I Googled it, and I was like, oh, it's on Reddit, and it had the whole answer.
Oh my gosh.
Like, let me teach your kid.
Yeah. This one says, you're entitled to your boundaries. She's a manipulative wench.
Oh.
I would go low contact if possible.
Elsie?
Yeah. Elsie. Just go Elsie.
Lauren Conrad.
The only thing unreasonable is your assumption that she wouldn't do what she always has. She sounds unhinged, but change the locks and have a friend or neighbor take care of your cats. Stop setting yourself up for this.
I mean, I wrote that, obviously.
Your Magnum. Meg.
Oh, I was like, I was trying to fill out the acronym for that. All potatoes.
Yeah. Your mother is a boundary stomper. Oh, I like that. A boundary stomper.
A boundary. There, speaking of
special guest,
don't call me. I'll call you.
Oh, I can't get my phone to go.
Okay. I love when that happens. Boundaries.
Boundaries. My phone is setting boundaries.
I feel like, okay, so let's talk about phone boundaries. Okay. I feel like you do a great job of setting boundaries. It drives me nuts, though, because I'll be in mid-conversation with you, and your phone will say, Alyssa, switch your phone to Do Not Disturb.
At 9 o'clock.
Like when I text you, I'm like, oh, it does?
But I learned that from you. Oh. I didn't even know I could do that, and then yours always pops up that way.
Oh, it does?
All the time.
What?
Let me see. I don't know if it does it right now, but yours would. Let me see.
Oh, I'm the boundary setter.
Maybe not right now. But yours, I don't know if you even meant to, but it would always be like, Tristana has notification silence. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you can do that.
Well, and so I always thought, I was like, oh my God, I need to be more like her.
I did it because you did it.
And it's funny because it's like, deliver anyway. So I'm like, yes, this is important.
Yeah.
And then.
So I just set it up because in an attempt to be on my phone list, from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. it goes, do not disturb except for Zach.
Oh yeah, that's
especially now that he's working next.
That's what Chris is the only one that can get through my do not disturb.
And I'm like, it actually does help until I click on things and then I'm like,
the rabbit hole of.
Or you can go like or you can go like this and it'll say while in do not disturb.
Oh. What? I literally.
Anyway, I think we have time for one more thing. This isn't even a story. This is like some boundary setting advice that I found. Hold on. And here's some boundary setting sentences.
Okay.
I can't do that, but I can help you find someone who can. What's wrong with that one?
I don't know.
No, give me your opinion.
Displacing like stress on someone else would stress me out more than just like shutting up and me doing it.
Fair. I appreciate the gesture, but in the future, I'd prefer.
I would never say that. That's why I have no boundaries.
Okay, this one says, I can't take on additional responsibilities right now.
Yeah, I'm starting to say that. Maybe not so eloquently, but I just stopped texting. I just stopped responding.
Just leave it on do not disturb. Yeah. I'm not comfortable discussing this topic with you.
No, it gives me anxiety thinking about that. You know what that reminds me of?
What?
You've got mail.
What's that?
Mail?
Oh. Yeah. I'm uncomfortable giving you any of my information. And then you get radio silence back, and then, anyway, still stressed. Thanks for your concern, but I can handle this myself. I can't attend, but I appreciate the invitation.
Okay, I need to be better about that. So I will, anybody that knows me knows, I will always say, yeah, I'll go. Immediately, no, I'm not coming. I'm not going to come.
Yes. Okay.
But I don't want to hurt people's feelings, so then I'm like, yeah.
So Zach has always said this about his sister. If she's listening, this is just what Zach has always told me. Like, she is a person who always wants to say yes to everybody, so she does. She just says yes. And it used to hurt his feelings a lot because she would say that she would be there for him, and he's like, it would hurt me less if you would just say, no, I cannot go, than accepting it and then not showing up.
I know.
And I'm like, okay.
That's fair.
Fair enough. If I, in the first place, just be like, I cannot attend this.
I'm trying to get better at that. I just feel like I'm hurting people's feelings.
Say because. Just be like, I cannot come.
Right, and well, then I don't even have an excuse anymore. I'm like, I'm just tired. But I'm like, I should have said that.
Yeah. Or I'm just.
It would save me a lot of heartache. I think.
And it causes you more stress, I think, in the long run than the other person too.
And strains on relationships, I think. Chris called me a flake forever.
Yeah. I just know. I just know if I need to hang out with you, I'll just come get your bed.
I know everybody knows that at the house now. The other day, Christina was there, and she was like texting me. She's like, "Where are you?" You know where I'm at.
You know where I'm at. When I showed up to Bodhi's birthday, and I didn't see you for a long time.
You're like,
I opened your door and I'm like, oh, she's not in there. Okay.
Let's check the bathroom.
I think you're in the. You were in the front yard.
Oh.
But I was like, everyone was like, where is she? And I'm like, well,
I'll go get her.
I won't be spoken to in that matter.
No, I would never say that. My husband will. I will not.
I'm allowed to change my mind.
That's tough.
No, thank you.
I'm allowed to change my mind. I like that. You're right.
I'm allowed to change my mind.
I am allowed to change my mind.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to do. I have one more thing. Tips for people struggling with boundaries. Here you go. This is for you. Identify times you should or want to set boundaries, even if you can't. This is like the first step. Try to notice how or when other people set boundaries. So like, try to make yourself notice.
Okay, so I think I'm past step 1.
Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2, it's like they do it in like eggs. Like the first one's an egg, the second one's like starting to hatch.
Yeah, I feel like I know when I need to set
figures. The second step is start stating some boundaries, but feebly and with lots of apologies, often retroactively, and often by text or email. Lie if it's easier. That's the second step. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I actually think I might not be able to after all. Okay, that's step 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
Step 3, stop meaning the apologies.
Oh my goodness. I didn't say I wrote this.
Step 4, stop apologizing altogether. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Just to let you know I'm not going. Drop the I'm sorry afterwards.
I respect that. Because I think people take you more serious too and less likely to pick on you, if you will. If I will, if you will.
Yeah, because
they're like, oh, like I can't guilt her into.
She's not defending her, so she doesn't feel sorry. Yeah. Step 5 and the last one. It says optional but recommended.
Oh.
Interrupt people who are trying to, have already, or crossed your stated boundaries. Hey, I'm going to have to stop you. I already said I'm not doing that. I've told you once before, if you continue, I'm going to have to leave. I understand you're upset, but I'm afraid I cannot allow myself to be spoken this way. Listen, I know you said you could never. Oh,
guitar.
I know. So there have been people, and I can't even give you the exact situation because
I know that's what I'm saying. I really just tiptoed around a bunch of situations today.
But there comes a point when you're like, hey, listen, I've asked you before, but you cannot speak to me this way, so I'm just going to have to walk away.
I got it.
You?
I gotta figure it out.
Oh. Yeah. And it's a very liberating feeling when you're like, listen.
And I if I don't talk to you, if I cut you out, there is no like malice, like however I feel. Nope. I'm done, and I don't have the energy to keep up trying to make the boundary, or maybe boundary's not right, just buzzword. Yeah, but I just remove myself from situations, which again it hurts people's feelings, but I literally don't care. Maybe I've gone through optional, but not required. She said step forward.
Because it is, you get to a place where I actually genuinely, I don't feel sorry about that anymore.
No. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with removing yourself. I think some relationships are not meant to last forever.
Yeah.
And removing yourself is okay.
Yeah. Life's too short. I'm so happy. I literally am so happy with my life. And I think it's because of everybody that is in my life. And if they all bring something positive to my life. And if they don't, I don't mind saying, well, actually I don't say anything.
You don't say anything, which is totally fine too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think the invention of the smartphone really blurred a lot of boundary lines, because you're just so available to everybody all the time.
Yep.
And you don't have to be. You can go home and turn your phone off, and
I know.
And now, will we? No.
No, you're right though. I've never even really thought of it. It does.
It's like, I don't think people had so many issues with boundaries until you were all of a sudden available all the time.
Yeah. Like
through every avenue of every social media and contacting app ever.
No, I thought about that yesterday when we were watching Seinfeld. And he was like George was talking about like going on a date with a girl, and he was like, what did she say? And he was like, Seinfeld was like, I told her to call you, and he was like, oh, and like he just waited around for a call, and it was weird because in my brain I expected him to like turn his phone over and like text her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just, and I was like, how was life so different then that you just didn't pick up the phone or text her or whatever, him texting her? It was like a realization of, you're right, that I mean, we are so connected all the time
that sometimes you just have to snip some wires and just be like, listen, I need to float back and disconnect.
Yeah, I mean, it's exhausting too, being connected all the time. Because again, then you're left with people pleasing. I have to text so and so back. I have to email. The group text.
Yeah, I keep all that stuff muted for the most part now.
I have to,
and that's okay. I like to check in when I can. But because that's the thing, I'm like, I like being ultra connected most of the time, but I also like having the option not to be.
That's it,
and it'd be okay. And that's what I think people have to understand too, is that some people, it freaks them out when you all of a sudden aren't responding. And I'm like,
Angela.
But it's okay to like step back and be like, no, I just, for my own sake, I still love you. Just,
Well, and I think that's why our group of friends work so well, because I do not have to explain, which, I mean, maybe everybody's really good. If I stop responding, they're like, something's wrong, which 9 times out of 10, there's been something that's kind of been on my mind. Yeah. But I don't have to call. I don't have to text you all the time. Even though Hudson said, my friends at school said their mom said you're a bad texter. And I'm like, I am a really bad texter.
How many unread messages do you have right now?
Listen, and Hudson's like, but you're not a bad 82.
The red notifications stress me out.
But, do they? Like the eight voicemails? Yeah,
see, I just like delete them. Like, I don't even always listen to them, but I can't have the red number there.
So I don't even notice that. But I also didn't notice that.
That's a good boundary though. You're just like, doesn't bother.
No. If I get too far out, then I'm like,
clear it all, start over.
That's it. Never got the message.
Yeah.
It was deleted.
I never got it. It was there, I just never got it.
Okay, but we're still looking for 2 Morgan Wallen sponsors.
Yes, please
send us to the concert.
Our boundary is
we don't have any with Morgan.
There's no Morgan boundaries.
I will literally do anything. I'll run through a wall.
Everybody work on your step 5. Stop apologizing and mean it.
No,
and, let us know how that goes for you.
That's it. 1 through 5. Do it all in one day if you can.
We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.